Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. I hope that you're doing well. I'm not doing super well because I'm sick and I really wanted to film today, so I hope that my voice isn't too, congested and nasally sounding. I've been sick for a long time. I'm not used to being sick for this long. It's a cold type of thing, but I think in total I've been sick with this for 2 weeks. It started as just a sore throat and nothing else, which was kind of weird. Felt a little off, but that was kind of it. And it was like that for about a week, and then a week ago it turned into a cough. And I'm feeling very congested and have that sort of tension in my head that comes with that. But I don't have that much of a runny nose or anything. It's mainly just a cough, and it's been incredibly frustrating because it's like a constant tickle in my throat and I need to cough, and it just seems like it's gonna keep going on and won't go away. I've found some things that are helping, but it's still pretty bad, and pretty bad at night, and which is normal with that kind of thing, because when you lay down the cough gets worse. But I've also been having a hard time sleeping because of that, and I'll wake up at usually about the same time, around 2 or 3 o'clock, and have a coughing fit and have a hard time falling back asleep. So it's been very frustrating. At least it's nothing more serious, and it's just, I guess, a very persistent cold. But yeah, it's just been kind of a hard week with that and with some other stuff all combining together. But I did still want to film today. I think this video will be pretty quick, but I always say that, and they hardly ever are quick. But in this video, I'm going to do a little reading check-in, reading update. I'm going to talk about a few books, books that are really on my radar right now that I feel like I might read soon. So sort of a immediate TBR, if you will. So I'm going to talk about those, and I'm going to talk about a couple of books that I'm in the middle of reading or that I've read recently. I'm still not reading as much as I did in years prior, which I've talked about in other videos this year, but I still thought it was a good time to do a quick little check-in on my reading. And I have my Goodreads in front of me. If you want to follow me on Goodreads, it's always linked in the description. I'm just checking on my reading goal for the year. My goal is to read 25 books this year, and I've only read 6. So I need to read 4 books, Goodreads says, to get back on track for my goal. But I'm not taking this goal seriously. It's just a fun thing. Yeah, so let's talk about the books that I'm reading right now. This video is going to be so hard to edit because I keep coughing, and it's going to be annoying to listen to. And I'm sorry, there's going to be some cuts. It's because of all of my coughing. So let's talk about the books that I'm currently reading, because I'm mainly reading one, but I just started one today, so I'm only on like page 4 of a different one. A lot of people don't like to read multiple books at once, and it's not that I like to necessarily, but I'm not opposed to it. And so I do often end up reading multiple because I'll be excited for one before I'm done my current read, so in those cases I'll just start the new one. What ends up happening is sometimes I will DNF my current read when I do that, but that hasn't happened yet here. So the book that I've been reading for the last couple of weeks is Broken Country by Claire Leslie Hall. So, Broken Country is a novel that wasn't on my radar at all until all of a sudden it was. Because some people that I watched started to talk about it. It is hard to define genre-wise. There's quite a bit of romance in it, but there's also this sort of mystery element to it, and it doesn't feel like a thriller to me yet, but people have said that it does, so I don't know if I just haven't gotten that part yet. I am 41% in. And this book is about, it flips between 1968 and 1950 something. So it's, I guess, historical as well. And it's about a girl who falls in love with a boy. This is back in the 50s. And the boy is from a rich family, and she is not. And we are flipping back and forth between the present, which is 1968, and 1950, whatever. I should find out which year it is. Oh, they actually don't tell us. It just says before. Anyway, I don't know why I thought it was the 50s. Maybe it's not. So, she falls in love with this guy, and we're flipping back and forth between the two time periods. And we know that that they're not together in present day, but we don't know why. So as the book goes, we're learning about that. And we also know that she's with this other guy now. And that they had a son, but he passed away. And we don't know what happened there either. And in the present day, the guy that she was in love with as a teenager, he comes back into her life. And so there's a bit of a love triangle, but it's very... nothing has really happened with it yet, but you can feel like it still feels like a love triangle. You feel this draw that she has towards her ex, and even if she's not admitting it to herself, you feel those feelings. So I'm really enjoying it. I really like the writing. I find it very easy to read, flows really well. I like the setting. I like the time period. The setting it feels very country. It is set, a lot of it, in the country, on a farm. So I really love that. And I'm just really liking the dynamics between the characters. And it's funny, not much has happened really, at least in the present day, but it's still really interesting and it's keeping my attention. So we'll see how the rest of it goes. I'm almost halfway through, like I said, and I will update once I'm done. But today I got this, which is Taylor Jenkins Reid's new book called Atmosphere. And if you're new to my channel, Taylor Jenkins Reid is one of my favorite authors. She might even be my favorite. I've read all of her books so far, and I just got this today. It came out Wednesday, I think, and I've been really, really excited to read this. So it's called Atmosphere, a Love Story. This is one of my most anticipated books of the year. Now that I know I love her so much, I've never disliked any of her books. Now that I know I love her so much, I feel like whenever she comes out with a new book, I'm gonna pick it up right away. So, this book is about an astronaut. Taylor Jenkins Reid often will write romances, but they have really interesting backdrops. For example, her book Carrie Soto is Back is in the world of tennis, and I really loved that. And this one is in the world of NASA, which is very different and cool. Different for a romance book. I find often romance books are just like the ones here by Emily Henry. They don't have a sort of unique backdrop or theme, like in the background that's going on aside from the romance. So, but I really like it when books do that, like Taylor Jenkins Reid does. She has a lot of books within, like, Hollywood and movie stars. Fictional, but, like, within that world, which are really fun. And like I said, Carrie Soto is back. Her book, Daisy Jones and the Six, is in the world of music. It's about a fictional famous band. And it's funny, actually, I just realized she has romance books that don't have that element, and I still really loved those. And one of them, One True Loves, is one of my favorite romance books that I've read. It's one of my 5-star reads, but she seemed to have gotten a lot more popular when she started to write these books that have these interesting backdrops. And I do really like them. So let's read the synopsis for Atmosphere. I think this is going to be a book that people talk about a lot. So I'm not going to read the full synopsis. I kind of don't want to know much before reading it, and at this point I don't, other than that the main character is an astronaut. And I know that there's a love story somewhere in here. I don't know if it is with another astronaut or not, or somebody else, but yeah, I'm very excited. I have only read like 4 pages, so I don't know really anything yet. It is quite short. It's around 300 pages. So that also is making me want to pick it up. I like when books don't go on for too long. So that's the second book that I'm reading right now. I hope that I still finish Broken Country. I hope that I manage to do that, because I am really liking that book as well. And I'm assuming I won't have a problem finishing Atmosphere, but maybe I will. Who knows? Maybe I won't like it. But that would be weird, because I do love Taylor Jenkins Reid. Okay, so those are the books I'm reading currently. A few other books that are on my radar. I'm just gonna talk about the one I have here physically first. So that is Anxious People by Frederick Bachman. I talked about my confusion around this author in a few videos back. I have 3 of his books. I had always assumed that I would like him, but every time I've tried to start reading this book, his book Beartown, and his book called A Man Called Ove, I have put them down. But I did read his short story, The Answer Is No, recently, which I talked about, and I really liked that. So now I'm more motivated to read his books again. And I don't know why, but Anxious People is really calling to me. Anxious People, let me know if you have read it and if you think I would like it. It is about a group of people, I believe, that end up in a hostage situation. I think they end up, like, getting to know each other and relating to each other, but I could be wrong about that. I don't really know why it's called Anxious People. I don't know if anxiety is a big topic, or theme in here. But people just rave about Frederick Bachman, and I need to try to read these books again, because I just feel like there's so much potential here for me, and I need to check it out for real. Another book that's on my radar right now is actually the 3 left that I have to talk about are all fantasies. I've been in a fantasy mood lately, but me and fantasy have a very not tumultuous, but I don't know. I don't always love it, and I really struggle with fantasy a lot. My brain, I don't think, naturally grasps fantasy. So, it's hard sometimes, but I have found some fantasy books that I really love, and I love the idea of fantasy books. So, I watched a video by the book Leo, and in it, this was a recent video that she made, and in it she read Fourth Wing, and we tend to have similar tastes, not 100%, but pretty good match. And she really liked Fourth Wing. She had a lot of criticisms about it, but it made me want to read it, because even though she had these criticisms, she said that she really was entertained by it and liked it and couldn't put it down, type of thing. So that started to get me into the fantasy mood and even consider trying Fourth Wing again. I started to read it when it first came out in 2023, and I quickly DNF'd it, but I do remember feeling into it in the beginning, but then I started to overthink it, I think, and I started to get, like, I started to feel like it was cringy, which is what the book Leo said about it as well. Anyway, I feel like there's still potential there for me to love that book, and I would just need to kind of put my critical brain aside and just enjoy it. So I'm thinking about trying Fourth Wing again. I am also thinking about trying Six of Crows by Leigh Bardugo again. I don't know, it's a book that is so well loved, but I find there's so much to keep track of mentally, and I've even tried to take notes to help me, but then that becomes annoying because you always have to look at the notes. I don't know, I feel dumb saying that, but I really struggle with like different names in fantasy books and different names of places that are obviously like weird to my brain, and I have a hard time following. I have a hard time remembering who's who and which place is which place and that kind of stuff. But yeah, Six of Crows is a very well-loved fantasy book. It has a heist in it, and it's about a group of people with different skills, and they come together and work towards this mission together. And one reason people really love it is the like found family element to it, and I really love found family tropes. You know, people coming together and becoming family, or like family. So I've been feeling like trying that again. And last, I've been thinking about picking up Songbird and the Heart of Stone, which is the third book in the Crown of Neaxia series. So that is a series, a fantasy series that I do love. I read the first two books. This is the third one. And I've talked about them quite a bit on this channel. The first one is The Serpent and the Wings of Night. And it's set in a world of vampires, but not everyone is a vampire, and our main character is not. And it's just very entertaining, and it's a romantasy, so there's a lot of romance in it, and I really like that. I really liked the romance in that book too, and it was very entertaining. So, the third book came out, I believe, in November, and I still haven't picked it up because I don't remember the first two. So I need to either reread those first or watch recap videos or read summaries online or something. But I am pretty excited about that. I could see me reading that soon, although it'll take me longer if I'm going to reread the first two books. But yeah, it's funny, it's summertime, but I've been feeling fantasy lately. And thinking back, the first fantasy book I read was in the summer, which was Shadow and Bone by Leigh Bardugo, which is in the same world as Six of Crows. I read that in 2023 when I started this channel. And yeah, I actually have tended to read fantasy books in the summertime. Don't know why. Just an interesting thing. So those are all the books that I wanted to talk about that are on my radar right now that I could see myself picking up soon. My current reads are Atmosphere and Broken Country. And last, I just wanted to talk about the book that I finished most recently, which is Normal People by Sally Rooney. And I'll talk about it here, but honestly, it deserves a whole video. I would love to sort of get into all of the themes in that book and why I loved it. So yes, I loved Normal People. I gave it 5 stars. But the other thing that I could talk about a lot, maybe in a separate video about, is the fact that I think I really enjoyed the book because I watched the TV show first. And shout out to another creator, Sincerely ASMR, I'll link her below, because she talked about the same thing, how she loved the book Normal People, but she thought that the fact that she watched the show that's based on the book before reading the book really helped her enjoy it because she had the visual as she was reading. And I think she even mentioned that she's a very visual person, so that's why it helped her, she thought. And I know that I'm a very visual person as well. So I watched this video, and then I decided to watch the show, and then I figured that if I liked the show, I would then try the book. So kind of mimicking what she did. So that's exactly what happened. The TV show Normal People is incredible. It has a lot of themes that I would have a hard time talking about on here because they're kind of, I don't know, personal to me and hard to talk about, but they're just really interesting to me, and the acting was so incredible. So Paul Mescal, I think that's his name, plays Connell, and Daisy Edgar Jones, I think is her name, plays Marianne. And the chemistry between them to me was just so good, and the characters are so interesting. But it could partly be because the book is just such a character study, and you go really deep into the characters. And I think when you do that, you just end up being more interested in them, right? Because you learn more about them and their psychology. I binged that show in a day. I loved it so much. And I wanted more of those characters when I was done, so I immediately picked up the book. And I quickly learned that the show is pretty much the same as the book. They did not change much at all when they made the show. A lot of it is the exact same, even the dialogue. And to be honest, I don't think I would have liked the book if I hadn't watched the show. I probably wouldn't have finished the book. But because I had that visual in my brain, it really helped. I think that I do connect more when there's a visual aspect. So, I highly recommend Normal People. But this whole thing is making me wonder if I should do this more. Because there's often books that become TV shows and movies, and I might try to watch them more first, and then the thing is, I will usually want more of those characters and that story. So then, if that's the case, I could read the book and really enjoy it. So that's my little spiel about that. I should tell you what Normal People is about a little bit. It is about two people. Yeah, it's not one of those books that has a real premise, but it's about a guy and a girl who, they have a relationship in high school, but it's a bit of a different one, an interesting one. They're very different people, at least mostly on the outside. And then they move apart, and then they come back together, and they move apart a couple more times and come back together, that kind of thing. And if you like second chance romances, you'll probably really like it. That's part of the reason I really liked it. And on top of that, just the character study for both of the main characters, and just how focused it is on psychology and not psychology, in the sense that you're being told about it, but you're in the characters' minds big time, and you really understand how they think and what their motivations are and what they're dealing with. And it definitely touches on mental health a lot, which is another thing I really appreciated about it. So this is one of my new favorite books. I don't have a physical copy yet, but I'm hoping to get one very soon. So yeah, I did want to just rave about that a bit. Like I said, could probably make a whole video about it, diving into the themes more, but you guys, I don't even know if I'm going to be able to post this video, because I keep coughing, and I don't know if my voice sounds good, or good enough to post. But if it's out there, I hope that you enjoyed at least a little bit. And let me know the books that you're currently reading, or that you've read recently, or the books that are on your radar. And if you have read any of the books that I talked about today and what you thought. Okay, thank you guys for watching. I appreciate you. And I hope to see you again very, very soon.